Into Red Room, how are you? Okay. So, I don't know why. Like, maybe because I took off for my birthday. So I basically have a 4-day, like, celebration time. And like I said on my tarot channel, basically because I'm a Cancer Sun, Leo Moon, Virgo Rising, Virgo Mars, I'm gonna celebrate up until fall. So I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Like, I will celebrate this entire like 3 months. Every like other week I'm doing something, living my life, going out there, doing the thing. Alright. So in this time off, like, I have a Virgo Mars. Like, I don't think days off are really a thing for me, even when I have days off. And what I mean by that is, like, growing up, I had like a lot of depression and a lot of like, I feel like I had PCOS, but like I was kind of like growing as a teenager, like reproductive wise. And so like I really, like I was growing into my reproductive system, and like the organs and shit like that are like growing and shifting and changing, right? So I can't really place PCOS at that time, but I did have a lot of like fatigue, fog, shit like that. And so and so now I feel like I'm like hyperactive also. I do not have ADHD as far as being like diagnosed. Like, I did talk to a therapist and she was like, I had ADHD, like the inattentive type, where you like lose focus, you daydream, you kind of start to like slack off because you kind of like don't focus. But it's so funny because I push myself a lot. I like push myself to do a lot of like random little things, especially when I didn't have a car. Like, I was always somewhere doing something, and I didn't have a job for like a minute, and I was still going places. Like, it's just crazy. Like, stability, doing things when I was like unstable was never it was just like never a question like, oh, should I do it or not? It was always, I'm going to do it. So yeah, I've had some really interesting experiences because of that, but I was always doing something. Now on my like birthday, like whatever, I'm going to still do stuff, not necessarily go out. I like took a rain check, I think that's what it's called, for some plans that I had made. But like, yeah, like I can definitely like switch that around. So I am really happy. Like, so essentially, I'm gonna take this weekend to wrap up some of these courses that I bought, and I am going to further my studies. So the course that I bought months ago, I was gonna say years ago, months ago, was from Bedrock Body. Her name is Ella. I don't remember. Hold on. Instagram. Yeah, okay. Okay, Ella. So yeah, it's called Bedrock Body. Essentially, she's like going through her own shifts and changes like as a human being. But essentially, I did like this womb course. I like signed up for it, so I need to like do weeks 7 through 10, I think, and then I'll be done. I don't have to do any like coursework or anything like that, but the class has like been over for like several months, so I just want to go through the replays because I never catch any course live, just because I work at certain times, and then when I get off of work, I don't feel like sitting on Zoom for like 3 hours listening to anybody, or an hour or 30 minutes. I just don't care. Like, I want to go out and eat Chick-fil-A or something. So like I didn't like do any of the live stuff. I didn't like join the group chat, the WhatsApp. I was kind of scared that somebody that I knew from WhatsApp was gonna message me, and I would have to like what is it? I'd have to block the person before, but then because I don't know their number, they would probably reach out first, and I'd be like, no, I'm not on here for you, because that's what happened the last time. I'm here to do this womb stuff so I can clear you out my life. Even though I recently kind of like forgave pretty much the very first person that started me on my spiritual journey, and I'm not blaming him, and I'm not saying he's an asshole, and I'm not saying all this stuff. I'm like really happy about it. Like, I'm really happy that like he started my spiritual journey, because my life was like shit like back then. It's like there's aspects of my life where I'm like, damn honey, like this shit was like fucked up, like for real. But like I'm really happy that like he kind of came in and I course corrected like a lot. Like I've grown so much and become such a better person that like, man, like a lot of the options that I was considering back then aren't even like options now, because I'm more aligned with myself. I'm truer to myself. I'm truer to this game called life. This game called life with me in it. And I'm sorry, y'all. My skin is like dry right here. It's the belt that I wear and the fact that my pants are too tight, because I've gained weight, and like that's just a thing that I'm not cool with. But so I'm like grateful for him in my life. But the womb class that I want to wrap up, it's just been on my mind to do, because I personally like womb classes. I like womb classes because I've connected with my ancestry through them. I've done a lot of healing work through them, and I'm at the precipice of wanting a family, and I feel that for myself. My Saturn return is in Pisces, and my Saturn return is in Pisces, and my Pisces deals with like relationships and health and stuff like that. Like it overlaps a little bit. And so I also kind of have figured out that I pretty much share like a Saturn sign with my mom. Like I'm at the very beginning of Saturn in Pisces. Her Saturn, based on what I've been able to gather, would have been in the later degrees, but we share it. And it's funny because in this time and space, I could potentially have a child who then shares my Saturn sign with me, as I have shared with my mother. And that like triple link of destruction, that triple link has me thinking about a lot of the ways in which I've related to people, and a lot of the ways in which I have been closed off to like physical intimacy in relationships, and just like intimacy in different forms, and how those woundings and feeling abandoned or rejected or feeling very distant, like it never can materialize, right? Because one of the things with Pisces is like sometimes we stall things into the future because we have to deal with the real life consequences of whatever actually resolves it, whatever actually gets us to point B, right? Like the experiences of point A to point B, not necessarily point A and point B in and of themselves, but the experiences that you have to go through to get to point B from point A are very real, and you are forever changed once you arrive at point B. Like you would be lying to yourself to say that X, Y, and Z, like these whole experiences that you've gone through, like didn't exist, and to not deal with what has happened, right? Like you can start having breaks with reality if you don't accept what has happened, right? And so I don't want to have those breaks with reality. I want to accept what has happened and what I've been thinking about, and the linkages between myself, my mother, and familial line on both sides, more the matriarchy, matrilineal kind of figures, what has happened with them. I will have to process like a few of my ancestors who died relatively young, and who died without seeing their children become adults. I have a few, both men and women, who died without kind of really seeing their family tree grow, and they died without them I feel like there's a lot of unresolved kind of issues within my family, a lot of silence where you have to fill in the gaps yourself. That person isn't around to like help you fill in those gaps, and so you kind of have to like carry on without it. And so I'm processing a lot of that through my wound space, and I don't know, I feel blessed to like be the person who I it's not like I'm the chosen one, but I do feel like I am more aware and I have taken the time to sit and think about the ancestors that never got to live a full life and me living the full life for them in their place, right? And so, yeah, I'm ready to complete the wound course because I want to move on to something else. Potentially the postpartum like doula course this year. I think there's gonna be one that I'm gonna do that's like more affordable because the other one's like $3K, and honey, like I don't want to do monthly payments for that. $300 a month. I don't feel like doing that because the last time I did it for the same class, I ended up missing one, and then like it just has been years, and yeah. So yeah, I am going to log in today to this thing and like kind of try and complete one of these courses. I'm also going to try and like do like go to sleep relatively early, even though I'm going to be staying up later than I normally would because it's not a work day for me. It's not going to be work days for me, but I am going to try and like keep my schedule like together with regard to that, like not staying up till the sun comes up, which is like 5 o'clock now, and making sure that I get up a little bit earlier so that I can do things throughout the day and not wait until the end of time to do them. So yeah, that's where I am. I'll let you guys know how the full conclusion of the womb class like went, like the entire thing. I have a journal that I've been keeping for the womb classes and what I've been feeling in the meditation she used to be giving. And so I'll share some of those things that came up, and yeah, we'll go through that, and then I'll kind of give my overall, I guess, review of it or whatever. But yeah, so far I've liked it. I've taken another womb class before, so I'm kind of used to it. This one is just a little bit more in depth, and I do want to do some more courses with her. I just gotta like figure out some shit about that. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.